Hey, good morning. It is not going to be a terrible Tuesday today. It's going to be a totally awesome Tuesday today. I want to thank you for joining me this morning on our morning message, but we're going to combine it today with our lesson review or preview because we're continuing with what we did yesterday. So let's go ahead and get started with that. You guys are doing so good with our first step of logging in and to Edsby and reading over your assignments. You also are getting pretty good at the routine of going into Clever and finding your apps. And this week, remember, our stories are located in the Common Lit app. Most of you found it pretty well yesterday. And if you're a paper pencil or a paper packet user, your stories are right here in your paper packet. We're going to keep going with our stories, Fastest Woman in the World about Wilma, and then Fly High, Bessie Coleman. Remember, this week, we're slowing things down a little bit. You are going to be reading these two stories. You're going to be working at your own pace because remember, your assignments aren't due until next Friday, April 17th. So you can take your time if you're reading, and as you're reading these texts, they're lengthy. They're a little bit longer than some things that we're used to. So break it up into sections. If you want to spend one day reading part of the story and then today read the rest of the story, do that. If you want to take 2 days to work on Fly High, Bessie Coleman, take 2 days. Work at your own pace. As you are working, remember, you're supposed to be looking at each section and asking yourself what's the main idea and the key details. So remember, the main idea is what the text is mostly about. The key details are they tell you more about the main idea. Those are the important details that give you more information about the main idea. So as you're breaking this into sections, jot down in your reader's notebook, jot down what the main idea of that section was. What are some of the key details? That way, at the end of the story, that's going to help you better understand what you've read because remember, this is informational text. It is jam-packed full of facts and information. So as a reader, we need to break that into smaller chunks so that we can remember and understand it better. Remember too, if you're starting Bessie Coleman, preview that text. Now, I know yesterday in some of our links, one of our links that said preview the text, it wouldn't come up. But I want to show you what that was. And when I show it to you, you're going to be like, oh, I know exactly what she's talking about. Ready? Can you see that? Does it look familiar to you? That's what previewing the text is. That's what the nonfiction text features are. Remember that? I knew when I showed you that picture, your brain would be like, hey, I know exactly what Miss Turner's talking about. And you can explain that to your parents or grandparents, whoever's working with you at home. Explain to them what those charts are. Tell them where those charts are and what we use them for. So, 2 stories this week. On top of that, we're going to be rolling our story, remember? Roll your dice. You need to find a main character or setting a problem. Your story that you submit, it needs to have all of these things in it, just like our fiction story structure that we worked on last week. Something that I want you really to focus on are these important events because you have an extended amount of time. Guys, this is not due until next Friday. So you have time to really think about it. You have time to really get creative and come up and find that character and where our story takes place, what the problem is, but add those important events. Remember, think about your question words. Who, what, when, where, why, as you're writing. Think about the reader of your paper. That's going to be me. Think about questions that I might be asking as I read your paper. And remember this, when you think you're finished with your writing, you're never finished. Go back, reread it. Make sure you have punctuation marks at the ends of your sentences. Make sure if it's a name, it has a capital letter. Give your character a name. If he's a genie, give him a name. If he goes to the store, Give the store a name. Make sure you use those specific details to make it better for the reader of your paper. Okay, make sure too that when you're finished or you want to take a break for the day or you've worked on it for the day, you're working at your own pace, go into iReady if you want to. Do a few minutes of iReady. Go into iExcel if you want to, or try out that typing club. That's in one of your Clever apps. Work on that for a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Speaking of breaks, don't forget, take a time out for recess. Take time out for a snack. Take time out for getting a breath of fresh air outside. Take time, take a break. Okay, remember, if you have any questions about what you're supposed to do, I'm on Edsby every morning, 8 to 9 o'clock, and every afternoon, 12:30 to 1:30. Remember to send me a message on Edsby, even if it's not between 8 and 9. I'm probably on the computer and I'll try to respond to you as quickly as I can. All right, are you ready? Today's grab and go meals. You know I love the grab and go meals. And guess what? I got the coolest phone message tonight. Your parents probably got the same thing too. Is because there's no school on Friday. The district wants to make sure you have enough food to make up for Friday. So they're going to give you 2 bags of food on Thursday. 1 for Thursday, 1 for Friday. So make sure that you go get your grab and go meals this week, but especially go on Thursday because you'll get Thursday's meal plus Friday's meal as well. Okay, today's breakfast, you ready? Banana muffins. Y'all know I don't like bananas, but y'all might like bananas, so you might enjoy that banana muffin. And cheese sticks. You know you love the cheese sticks. Plus you get juice and milk. For lunch, Pizza Tuesday. Pizza Tuesday. So you get pizza, you get a strawberry fruit cup and some raisins and the milk. If I remember, I will try to post the menus on the Remind app and on Edsby so you'll know what tomorrow's lunch is too, and you'll get it ahead of time. Okay, remember, any questions, let me know on Edsby. I'll see you on Edsby. Y'all have a great day, a totally awesome Tuesday.